Here we are, Design Talk, and this is going to be the last Design Talk live of this year 2023. So welcome to all of you. I know that more people will soon be connected, and so before we start the official topic for today, I would like to know, how are you? How was your week? First of all, how was your 24th and 25th lunch and dinner? Because I can imagine a lot of people are eating quite a lot, just like it happened to us. So I hope you got some really useful and interesting presents under the tree if you had one. Okay, so if you want to share with us, I'll be more than happy to read your comment about this. Here has been a very busy week, not very much for work, but more or less more for, I would say, more for organizing everything we had to organize to receive people, family, of course, because it's Christmas time. And as I was saying, today it's going to be our last live of this year. I know that you appreciated very much the drawing lessons live that I made in the last during the last month, which are a series of lessons that I made already here on YouTube, and just thought that would be very nice to put them together in one only video, to go in a loop live, so that people could follow on the same subject several type of lessons by topics, talking about topics like, for example, how you draw wheels. So there are different ways to approach it, and in the video that is available here on my YouTube channel, you find a lot of several type of exercise and methods that can help you. Same thing, how you draw using chalk, to make the core, that nice shaded effect on your color drawings, and also on black and white drawings. But the most important thing today, we're gonna talk about how was this 2023 year, okay? Because at the beginning, in January, it's already 1 year went by. In January, we talked about how you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to do, become a car designer in 2023. And now that this 2023 passed, I would say that I was pretty much right in what I was predicting, in terms of which are the main actions you should do, you should operate, so that you can aspire to become a car designer, or at least a car design student in a very good design school. So I would say we can start. All right. So other people will come as during the live, as usual. So first of all, the main topic would be, in my opinion, the first key point of this topic of today, in my opinion, is portfolio, because it changed the way we prepare portfolios in car design, in transportation design, because a lot of things are changing, and this year we had a very fast changes in terms of technology, and also some new laws by the European community, and not only European community, but also companies that decided to act in favor of a cleaner world, and to lower the CO2 emissions as much as possible. And some conventions, political conventions, where the big people of the planet, took some sort of engagements to reduce the CO2. All this has been changing quite fast the transportation design industry. and not just the transportation design industry, but also all the other satellite industries that make uh, objects, that make products that are connected, connected with the car design industry. I'm talking about mechanical parts as well as aesthetic parts. Like for example, companies that make interiors, or side panels, aesthetic panels. And then we have also electronics that changed a lot, mainly because we live always more into a connected world, but also because electronics has a very strong effect on the EV technology and hydrogen technology and alternative type of powers to alimentate a car as alternative to a normal engine that goes with gasoline. So the objective, of course, is very fast to reduce the gasoline engines, combustion engines, powertrain, and use an alternative technology power unit. So the EV in this historical moment, of our life, for the next 10 years, I would say, electric vehicle technology is the most successful one, the one on which every car company is pointing, the one that all the R&D studios are using to improve its performance and also to improve the way this EV performs in order to make less pollution, because nothing is really 100% clean, and therefore there are new ways of making batteries, which are a very critical, important aspect of EV, but also a critical one in terms of pollution. So today looks like the sodium batteries are becoming very successful, and those of course have the great advantage of not going and search underground all the materials that we are searching today for the lithium technology. And let's hope that this will really work much better and very fast. I know that in China some car companies are already using those new batteries right away, hoping that they're gonna work. But anyway, why EV is so important for your portfolio? Because of course it's going to influence the projects that you have to make in your portfolio in order to be accepted to design school, or if you graduate from the design school, from a bachelor or from a master, to make your final portfolio that has to be sent to a car design studio. So what type of projects are we going to put inside? And of course, with these huge changes in terms of technologies, you must consider to make EV projects, and not just EV projects, because as you know, we talk more and more about city systems. We want to understand much better how we can change and get much better and cleaner city public transportation or commuting. And that's why another important topic becomes very actuality, which is future mobility, or somebody call them intelligent mobility. But anyway, a future mobility that is 100% clean, okay, and that probably will perform much better in bringing people from a point A to a point B in town or just around the town. So when you think of those two, you understand that you have to become a little bit more visionary than a few years ago, when we were happy to make a very nice SUV project and then make a small SUV and then a coupe SUV, because that's not anymore the case. So what you can do, what can you do? What should you do? One thing for sure is that you have to think more about how this EV technology or hydrogen technology or another type of technology can change the approach to car design. Tomorrow, exterior design, is it going to be very important the way it is still nowadays, or it's going to be interior design much more important? That's also another thing that you have to think about. Because if interior design for a sort of comfort, because technology today give us driverless cars, so we are basically in a room, in a beautiful room that is moving, you know. So when you think of all that, you understand that the way you think about car design has to change. It's not anymore the way I used to think when I was in school, or about the project I used to work on until couple of years ago, or a few years ago. So it's becoming very important to do several things in order to point out the right projects on which to be concentrated to make a good portfolio, a portfolio that will satisfy those people that will look at it. So you have to think about trends, you have to think about social changes, you have to think about new technology, you have to think about how you mix all those technology and what type of architecture, product architecture those technology can influence, can produce. And then you have to think about the comfort on board, because comfort on board will become the aspect number one for anybody who will have as a property or in sharing a moving object, okay, a transportation mobile device that in the near future will take you from A to B. Thank you very much, Kweku Mensa. Thank you very much. And thanks for following. So, those are, I would say, the main concern you should have in terms of content for your portfolio, for what you will probably study in school, and for how you probably will be as a car designer in the next 5 or 6 years. So that's important. Think about that. Not anymore the American muscle car or the wonderful Ferrari with the great V6 or V8 engine. Here we're talking about something else. Also because you have to consider also that the young generation today, and I can imagine that, you know, tomorrow's generation, they don't consider anymore the driver license like a conquest of freedom. Very important to drive my own car. I want that car. They're not anymore that much into that. You are young, you don't have my age. So you probably agree with me. There is a different type of paradigm. There is a different type of approach to car design and to what can mean a car or a mobile device that will take us from A to B. So it's more about the experience. So if you have a great experience in a sharing company vehicle, then why buy one? But that's what, for example, my son, you know, sometimes talk about. And I am a very much a car guy, you know, car freak out. So I have my own car, always have my car. I will die with my own car, but for them it's not the priority. And like for them, a lot of other people that are part of their friends, their peer. So this is social changes, trends. And this probably, if it's starting now in this period, it will increase for the next 10 years. So that's why it's probably more important to have a very nice 10 people, small minibus, with, I don't know, we cannot see the wheels. Technology ultra flat, all glass, with music, video, interconnectivity inside, a great experience by moving from A to B, and we don't care, how fast it goes or the look of the thing, because what we care is that experience that we will have once we are inside. We feel like at home, even if we are moving to another place. But it becomes like an extension of our home. So our comfort, personal comfort. So the big challenge is, until today, when we are stuck in a traffic with the car, we are still like this with the belt, with the steering wheel in front of us, all that type of situation. How can I turn that situation into something positive? Because I don't have any more a dashboard, I don't have any more a steering wheel. I have I don't know, a hidden technology that is not taking the space where I'm sitting. I have a different type of seating. I have a great lighting in interior. So basically, I try to reproduce inside this mobile device what I have in my room or in my, I don't know, in my salon at home, you know, whether it's a modern, traditional. So all those things push you to understand that to prepare portfolio in 2024 and behind, it's not gonna be an easy task because it's something that has to be reinvented. Now, you can always make also some projects that are nice sports cars, because sports cars today are turning also to electric engines. So we can always have that passion car guy thing, or passionate of cars. But that will become a real niche probably in the future. Like there will be a very small niche of those people that we love to drive classic cars, They will buy an old car from the 60s or the 70s or older, and probably they will turn it into an electric vehicle. Today you can pay around $6,000-7,000, and you can turn any car into an electric car. So that's also what we think people that love really old cars, classic cars, might do in the near future, so that they can still go around with their car. So this is the first aspect, the portfolio. But then there's another one. We talked about car design jobs. All this year when we were here, during our Design Talk Live, very often we talk about car design job, exterior, interior, and then little by little, I start adding new positions because there are new jobs, within the car design job that are arriving to the market, because there is an evolution also into the car design filial jobs, types of jobs. Amit wrote something. Do you think that we might see decrease in private passenger or high demand of public transport? Amit, to be honest, I don't know, but I think that it will change the way we will see the passenger car. That's what I think it really will happen, but not tomorrow, right? Not in 2024. Maybe in 5 years from today, we probably will assist to a different way of making a car, because technology give us some architectural opportunity, more space, and therefore if I have more space, I can use that space differently. You see? So talking about the car design jobs, of course we have always the exterior design, those that will be working on exterior design. And we will always have interior designers, those that work on the interior design, whether they do the dashboard, door panels, whether they do the car seats and stuff. That's how it is today. But it's true that if the interior will become more like an open space, you know, in which people can do things while they're going from A to B, that interior design, it will be closer probably to architecture design. So like an architect that is drawing an interior architect of buildings, apartments, you know, houses, that is making redistribution of things and saying how big has to be the kitchen and how small has to be a toilet. So we'll probably have a different type of approach. Those are all questions, but they're all possible, you know. Those are all possible things to happen. Because if you empty a car completely like a bus, you can do a lot of things inside that are different. And if technology gives you the opportunity to do it, then why not take that opportunity? So that you can do once in a while, you know, after 30 years or 100 years, we change completely the way we arrange an interior design of a car or of a vehicle. You see? So because of all that, there are a lot of other things happening in the interior mainly. We have more connectivity, we said, so more electronics, and therefore we have more info, digital info, that it's going to be very important, just like important is on our telephone. You know, that's digital info. Now, with telephones, especially with the new smartphones, we are very used to take that one, look at icons, touch, screen, make a video, do things, go in live chat and stuff, camera. We are very comfortable. In the car, until today, it's still a little bit more complicated. And because there are a lot of things that go into digital, also the infotainment we have inside on a dashboard it's changing. Okay, as you saw last concepts this year, there was an explosion of horizontal screens, touch screens, screens up here in the center, down here, everywhere. You know, we have also rear view mirrors that have screens, cameras. It's a lot of things. And with digital car and driverless cars, there will be even more of this type of technology. So we have new designers, figures that have to take care of that, because that's visual communication. So when we do that, we can imagine and we can talk about UX UI design. And therefore UX UI designers, and those designers come from transportation design schools. So I have a list here, you know, of all those type of jobs. I will talk to you very soon, but I would say that expect new car design jobs within the car design environment. Those will arrive because the changing things will force the market and companies to define new professional careers specific for some task. Sorry. Okay, so then the positive aspect about the car design job of this year is that we had an incredible request, demand of car design jobs on internet. This means that all of you guys, for you was a lot easier this year to find the information. Who is looking for what? Which car company or car design studio has an opening and for which type of job? And very often we talk here, you know, about the jobs hiring session. Remember the beginning of design talks in the last 3-4 months. I will give you weekly what I could find on internet. Instagram, LinkedIn, sometimes even on Facebook, you find post of car companies or people that work in car companies, like on LinkedIn happens, that say very clearly, we are looking for this person, this other person. This is the link. If you are interested, click that link and go and check our HR, department. They will explain to you requirements and stuff. Now, this does not mean that we have more jobs. It means that to communicate the exigence of offering jobs, because there are some available jobs, it's easier. That's great. Many years ago, it was so hard to find that information, Amit, yes, I'm seeing a huge scope in interior department because of rising living standards. Exactly. The living standards are rising. The market is becoming more picky, I would say, perfectionist, because in our house it's like that. Therefore, when you go into a car, you start having, I would say, the same approach. If some thing doesn't work, you get mad. You want that thing to work. If the ergonomy is not well set, you are not very happy, and that's normal. We are getting into a world that is much more connected. Everybody express themselves, and therefore everything is visible, every point of view very quickly, and that's how a group of people, society, moves and changes, during the time. Okay, so coming back to the car design jobs available, thanks to internet this year, we had there also a sort of an explosion of those info that are very important, especially for students. You are graduating and you can read, you can check who is really looking for what type of position. You can prepare yourself. You can very quickly set up how can I say, an appointment, whether it's online or directly at their location, so that you don't waste your time and you don't get that news late, which is very important. And another thing that I would say augmented a little bit is the opportunities for internships. Because today, in several countries, to offer an internship, it's regulated by law. Therefore, companies, because there is a real law that is regulating this, companies are happier to offer internships. Also, several internships during the year. And therefore, there is a new rotation that is, how can I say, increasing. And that's a great opportunity for students, because students get the opportunity to have, in a higher scale, in a higher percentage, an internship during their school time. Before, when it wasn't my time, or until a few years ago, you would get only the three best, four best of a class. They would get the real good internship. Everybody would be very happy or lucky. Today, because there is more opportunities and a better rotation during the whole year, more people have more opportunities. And that's great, because there you learn how you start the real job. There is also a great opportunity because the company sees you working, and if they're interested, they will tell you right away, because it's their own interest, to find somebody good and keep somebody good and not let it go. Then there is as we said before, in the car design world, in terms of jobs, there are lots of new alternatives. And this is also something that a few years ago was not that obvious, but today it is. So let's talk about the alternative jobs. We talked about this in 2023 several times. We also had a couple of years ago with Pratap Bose a beautiful, live interview, where we talked a little bit about that. But now, it's first of all, it's not a shame. If you do a car design school and you end up doing something that's slightly different than being a car designer, because not everybody can be car designers, and we know that now. Okay, I say this many times many times since years. But anyway, we know that we cannot all be car designers because car design jobs remain few, okay? Not many. So what can we do? There are other job roles into the car design world or environment that are very demanding because those ones, there is a lot of job, there is a lot of work for those. And now I give you the list. If you go to a car design school, it is in your interest to go into a car design school that has clay modeling. Why? Because you can become an expert clay modeler. Because as a clay modeler, if you don't take you as a car designer, they might take you as a clay modeler. So you will still work in the creative environment, more with sculpture, but you will love it. Amit, end of 23 has been really good to me. I finally got an opportunity to work good. Automotive seating company, yes, as a digital sculpture and designer, and I am glad that I took it. Bravo, Amit. I'm very happy for you. Congratulations. So your 2024 starts perfectly well. So clay modeling, and then as Amit is saying, another branch of the modeling is the digital modeling. So if you go to a good car design school, you will learn how to use softwares to make models, digital models. Learn well, because today, if we have a designer that works really well on its own digital model, it is very, very appreciated. And if you cannot get the spot as a car designer, you can make a portfolio of a digital works, and you will find 100% a company or an agency that does that will take you, will hire you, and then will send you to clients to make models, digital models. So there is always an opportunity, and that's always a great start. Don't forget, your first job, it's very important, so you never refuse. Don't reject it, even if it's not exactly what you want. You take it, because that's fundamental. You start making your feet on the ground for the first time, on the real ground, and that's important for your CV, for your curriculum vitae, because you want to show that you started not too long after graduation or after your master. So after modeling, we have the UX UI designer, which is basically a digital designer that will be presenting and developing projects of visual communication, visual ergonomy, visual design. And everything is inside the display, basically, So I make it simple, but so that we understand each other without using too many words. UX UI, it gives you an experience. It takes you inside that display or the car that is has vocal commands and is asking you things, and you have to answer to the car in order to access to a command or to an action. And all that stuff is UX UI designer that thinks about it with the team, and they build up an architecture. And after to that architecture, they give the development, with the right software. And after they make the graphic design, the graphic digital design or animation to communicate the type of command or action according to the technology and the software that there is behind. So it's very complex, huh? But believe me, a lot of UX UI designers come from car design schools. Now I know that there is also UX UI design master, UX UI design bachelor in some schools, I know. But the first ones come from car design or industrial design school. Few from graphic design school. Okay? So this is another great opportunity. Then we have always color and trim. But color and trim is becoming very interesting because today technology allow us to do things on plastics, a certain type of plastics that are fantastic. You don't need any more complicated and very costly processes to put a graphics on a plastic. You can do it in a different way with a combination of technologies, and that combination is not anymore as expensive as it used to be 10 years ago. And then you have lots of variations you can apply. So there is a lots of creativity that you can have not only with colors and materials, but also how you manipulate those materials to create special effects. And that's how you get a plastic element with a particular type of graphics and finish that it looks like a carbon fiber part, and it's not a carbon fiber, or that has a perfect chrome or aluminum brushed finish because of those technologies. So it is very, it's becoming very important to be a color and trim designer, because you are really much more involved into this type of interior design that is looking always more like the home expression of the home feeling, the home experience, and therefore the type of textile, the touch of the textile, the textures, the size, the lights. But there is also the lighting design with all the LED, the LED technology, or the other one, I forgot the name, but it's basically the light driven by little tubular, transparent, small, very thin, tiny. Um, how can I say, elements? That they get lighted. And you can do lots of interesting things. For example, on fabrics, there is a lot of fashion concept in fashion, men and women, where they have t-shirts or pulls that can light on. They have captors and stuff. So you take all that technology, you apply to the car design, and you have an amplification of what used to be a seat with a nice textile on top. So everything is in evolution. Then you have the ID designers, those that are called industrial designer in a car design studio, because they do everything that is considered accessory. But this time they do it, not, how can I say, seriously. It's a real studio with a real director, manager, designers, modelers, digital modelers, because all those accessories are becoming so important, because those accessories give a lot of quality to the final product. And therefore, when you make a real design, you have to do it really well. When you make a steering wheel, if you still have steering wheel, you have to design the steering wheel and all the other things that are around. When you design a seat, the seat is not just a seat. There is a lot of other stuff, that are included into a car seat. So when you look at this type of designers, they are full of work and projects, because in every car design studio, projects are many. And if they are the only one that are taking care of all the accessories, all car projects, then you realize the amount of work they have. It's huge. HMI design is also getting attention in the automotive industry. Yes, HMI, it's what we call UX UI. It's very similar. Sometimes it's same thing, but you're right, Amit. HMI, yeah. Exactly. Then we have also a new figure, a new job role that has a lot to do with engineering. So if you are an engineer that it's doing a master in car design because you want to become a car designer as an engineer background, and probably you have hard time, in becoming a real car designer, because as we said many times, 1 year of master doesn't make of you a car designer. It's almost impossible. There is today the design engineer, that is a job role within R&D design studios, where you have engineers that study to help designers to achieve what they want to achieve. Therefore, you as a design engineer have to work in order to manipulate architecture and technology so that what the designers are asking can be done. Because in general, an engineer, a car engineer, it gives you a pre-formatted, a prerequisite that is the engineering envelope. All the mechanical parts, everything, how it's gonna be. And you don't have really a lot the right to change that. Because when you touch that, you touch a lot of money, budget, difficulty, a lot of those things. But when you work in an R&D design studio to accompany designers to realize what they want to realize for future concepts, then the engineering background for somebody that wants to do design is extremely important, because you will have a creative approach as an engineer because of the car design year of master you made. And you will understand much better designer than a simple engineer that works in the engineering department. So I don't know if I was clear on that. So as you can see, I gave you a list of several types of new job roles. Some of those we discovered them this year, and I am sure that new ones will come with years to come. But the most important things in synthesis that we can say that this 2023 has been a year where we got some advantages for students in terms of extra internships. That's very important. But also about how you have to think in organizing your portfolio or your future portfolio. We talked about the new technology in terms of power unit, because the gasoline engines are dying. Okay, even if we don't like the idea, or some of us don't like that idea, it will probably happen in the next 5-10 years. Therefore, there is a reduction of gasoline cars and augmentation, increase, okay, of EV or alternative type of technology of power units. Hydrogen is becoming very, very hot also as a technology. Everybody's looking into it. EV is already kind of developed, but what they are doing now, they are working a lot on the battery to make sure that those batteries will not kill the planet because of the components that are inside, that are all natural. So if we are able to make sodium or graphite batteries or other technology batteries to stock, electricity, energy, then we will not, hopefully, will not touch anymore the underground of our planet. But it's for sure that everybody's working on this stuff. And then the good news is also that all those companies that produce gasoline and diesel today, they're also working very hard to produce synthetic gasoline that will basically not pollute once it's out of the exhaust pipe. We need to define yet how they produce that type of synthetic gasoline, and if that production is polluting or not. But anyway, there is a lot of things moving around, all this new movement, I would say, and engagement, which is worldwide, okay, not to pollute anymore, not as today, but with the great engagement of reducing, hopefully, CO2 level drastically by 2050. 2035-40 is a first step. 2050 should be the second step. Now, all this is changing everything, as I explained you at the beginning of this live. And therefore, your projects will change. And then there are also the other technology, driverless cars, you know, driverless buses or minibus, new mobility. Is a car still something that I want to own? Is it still your property? Or is it just a sharing thing? So a lot of things are changing. Now there is another thing will come soon. I know because I have few friends with who I went to school together that are in a company in California. They are working on flying small cars. This will open up a new world, because probably we will have in our skies those little vehicles that you know, the traffic is congested. I go on a runway and I fly, and that's something new, for which we also need design. It's also a completely new concept of new future mobility. So you should think also about this, the flying objects. Many years when I was a kid, the flying objects were the UFO, you know. But today the flying objects are the drones, that can do a lot of things. Small drones, medium drones, or huge drones. How, you know, the evolution of the helicopter, small cars that fly, and what else? That's quite. I question. I ask you, what's gonna be next? Think about it. So, a lot of things. And all those changes are creating new jobs opportunities. It's true that some traditional jobs will end. That's normal. In every transition, there is how can I say, a part of something that will end or will be strongly reduced. But there will be a big part that is new and will develop, you know, enlarging, increasing in opportunities. So now we are starting, you know, to basculate to the new thing. Well, 2023 was the, you know, the big announcement. We will not do this anymore. We must work only on that. We have to orientate companies like this. We will produce, I don't know, plastic or paper all in this way and not the old way. We will use packages that are more eco-responsible or eco-friendly. So there is all new era starting. You will be the actors, not me. I'm old, but you will be the actors of these new changes that will affect for the next 30, 40 years, 50 years, what people will be doing, the way they will live, the way they will move, okay, from one point to another, okay? Then in this 2023, as I said, I tried with this channel to be much more regular, and I have to tell you that looking at the numbers, it looks like I was more regular. And with the live on Fridays, I've been very regular, a little bit less with the sketching. It's also because I had period of my time where I had a lot of work, therefore I could not be, I was kind of tired, and then in the evening late, turn on the lights, start making the demo, make the video. I was too tired. So that's why sometimes I skipped. Then there is also another thing that is very interesting. We started this year in February the membership of this channel, where you can be just a simple supporter for about euros, you pay 2 euros per month as a member, support member, and you just helping me to keep this channel alive. That's what you do. You do that. There are few of you that are doing it, and I am very grateful. Uh, it's great. Thank you very much. And then there are others, few others, that are also members. And when you're a member, of course, when I make a video, you are the first one that sees it, and then a week later, I open up the video to everybody. You being a members, you can also have some discounts on my ebooks. Okay, but anyway, some of you already used my discount. I'm very happy that you got my ebook. That my ebook is on your desktop of your computer. Some people told me they printed it, so in your library. That's great. And next year I will try to be a little bit more active on the sketching part. Okay, and more or less to keep the same type of format. Okay, having one live per week for sure. On Friday looks like it's good for everybody. But please, before I say goodbye to you, and I wish you a very good happy new year, can you tell me if you have any suggestions, for next year, so that I can think about, and I will try eventually to apply those changes that you suggest. If you have few things to write, that will make me happy. And if you don't, then it's okay. It's the end of the year. I am sure you're gonna be with your family, with your friends. Ciao, John! Buon anno! Happy New Year to you! John, I don't know if you just got online, connected, but we talk about this 2023, how portfolio projects are changing because of the new technologies, the EV, the pollution, and all that stuff, how the car design jobs info has changed in the last year, with lots of requests on internet, info on internet, more internship opportunities. And then we talked also about the alternative jobs in car design that also increased thanks to the evolution of the job. Talking about exterior, interior, color and trim, digital modeling, clay modeling, UX, UI designer, the special material design modelers or designers, industrial designer for accessory within. Okay, great. So you saw. And then the design engineer that are basically engineers. Thank you, John. Amit, happy New Year, sir. I have a wonderful year ahead. Thank you very much to you too. So, okay, great. So I will meet you in the new year. All right. Thank you very much for your support, because if you are not here, today we are 20. Sometimes I used to have 100 people connected. So some other times only 3 or 4, which is okay. Yeah. But what is encouraging is that this year is being positive for this channel, because I got quite few extra subscribers. We got few memberships. We got also more time, visualization time on my videos, and that's very important. More likes, more comments. So there has been an increasing of the activity on the channel that was slightly better than 2022. That was already a good year. So hey, ciao, Richard. Oh, don't worry. You can watch eventually. You can watch the video tomorrow, because this one it remains available on the channel. Okay, even if after I say hello to everybody. Okay. So I'm quite satisfied. I tell you the honesty, with great honesty. I'm quite happy, because I don't really do a lot for this channel. Not like those that have a lot more time than me, but I try to do my best. and hoping always to give you a service that is most important, that is useful. Okay, I don't want to be the best, forget about the rest, because it doesn't exist. There are a lot of people that do a lot of digital on their channels, and if you are interested into this, you have to go and follow them, because they are much better than me about that. Here we talk a lot about the job quality to be a car designer, how you become a car designer, what it takes, and we talk a lot about schools, because it all starts from the right school. And then every time that there is something new that I know or that I experience that can be useful to you, without telling you any secret, I will tell you a story with which I will share with you the experience, so that you can think about it and make a treasure of the info. Ishad, I am fine, thanks. I am still in the tango of the dinners of Christmas and New Year's Eve, which means to eat quite a lot. Sometimes it's too much, but aside part of that, I'm also relaxing. I have some family members at home. In 2 days they will leave. It will be more quiet at home, but it's very nice. I'm having a good time. And from the 3rd of January, I'll be back at the office. So start normal life. In 2024, we'll restart. Okay? All right. So thank you very much. John, thanks for being with us the whole year long, as usual, with your precious help and support. And thank you to all of you. And for those that were not connected and that are watching this video now, or watch this video after, which means later or tomorrow or the days to come, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support. Happy New Year to you, to your beloved ones, to your family, to your friends, to yourself, to all of us. Grazie. I think that that's it for this year. Ciao, ciao, grazie, ciao.